Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished. In the words of Meek Mill. You guys thought the SL2 revenge tour is over. It's not over. Bro, it's not over. We're still going. We're still getting miles in the SL2. We're going to get this baby up to 100. We only got a few more miles, but we also have a few more comparisons. A few more items of business we got to handle in the SL2 before we can fully close the book. Before we can finish this chapter and move on to the next saga. And that's the great thing, because each and every one of these shoes here, it's a story. Saucony Endorphin Speed 4, the story of that is the 100-mile week. A6 Metaspeed Sky Paris, the story of that is my recent marathon. And not all the stories are super glorious. Topo Cyclone 2, the story of this was just a beautiful spring morning where I got 10 miles in the A6 Nova Blast 4, and then we popped into the Cyclone 2 and did some fast mile repeats. And the story of these two shoes today are still being written. So the SL2 here, it's one that's coming to the office recently. I've been loving it. You guys know it's one of my top shoes of the year. It's soft, it's bouncy, it's fast, it's comfortable. And this is the shoe. This is the shoe that reminds me why we do what we do, right? It's coming in with the most value and the most racing foam in the game. $90 Adidas has been selling this thing for. And over on the other side here, boom, Adidas Supernova Rise. And the story of this shoe is it's being slept on. It's an underdog. Man, nobody thinks the Adidas Supernova Rise is a banger. It's a low key, it's a slow burner, it's a slow bubbler, but it's a comfortable shoe, and it's a nice shoe for getting some miles in. So tomorrow, we're going to lace both of these puppies up, do some miles, and I'll let you know which one of these Adidas Daily Trainers is going to be for you. Which one of these books should you read? Which one of these stories do you want to delve into? I could keep going, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to drop the beat so we can get into it. But I'm not a rapper. Alright guys, so it is Tuesday night here at the Casa del Hobby Jogger. I do not speak Spanish, so that's not proper Spanish, but we're going to do a little bit of an overview of these two guys tonight, and then tomorrow we're going to take them out to rip. Tomorrow is a federal holiday here, so I don't know what my day's going to look like. It's off from work, so we're going to be hanging out with the kids. I'm probably not going to be able to do the full shebang shoe market outside, so instead we're doing the yin-yang twins. Wait till you see my little whisper flow on the inside. So this is the SL2 by Adidas. They're both by Adidas. It's the Adizero. Adizero is Adidas's performance fast racing lineup. This is in the Adizero collection. And then bang, if you look over here, Supernova Rise. The Supernova is the name of Adidas's comfort collection. They actually did this study. It was really cool. They did a study where they polled a bunch of runners and they asked them, what's the number one reason why you're running or not running? They polled people who had run in the past and then quit. And a lot of them said they couldn't find comfortable shoes. So Adidas designed the Supernova collection to deliver comfort. They have the Rise, they have the Solution, they have, I'm forgetting the name of the entry-level one, but they have one that's about $100 that doesn't have as soft and bouncy of a foam. And then they have the Prima, which is the max cushion version. So the Rise in the Supernova collection, this is the standard one. This is the one that if you're looking for one of the Supernova comfort shoes, you should likely buy unless you want a ton of foam, which is what the Prima is delivering, which hopefully we'll be testing soon, or unless you need some more support and stability, which that is the Solution. Now this guy does have some support and stability baked in here with this firmer gray piece on the bottom. It is actually just a little bit of a firmer foam, and you can see, oh gosh, man, these little BlackBerry things are ruthless. I think all my shoes have them just squished on the bottom these days. But yeah, these gray pieces are they call them support rods. It's really just a dual foam setup where the gray is going to add a little bit more stability so that this green foam here isn't too squishy and squirrely, and so that your foot isn't super moving around in here. So because the Rise is more comfort oriented, you're going to see it as more padding around the back. The SL2 here, you still get the padding, but not as much, and just holding them in my hands, and maybe we'll throw them on the scale, but the Rise is a little bit heavier because it's designed for comfort. That additional padding on the top, and the foam isn't designed to be a racing foam where it's super lightweight and super bouncy. So my experience so far with the Supernova Rise is that it's a little bit of a slower, more relaxed shoe. The midsole here is designed a little bit more for impact protection, impact absorption and protection, not necessarily bounce. Whereas the SL2, you also have a dual foam setup here, but this is designed a little bit more for those faster speeds and feels a little bit better going at faster speeds. So in this guy, you have two foams as well, Light Strike on the outside, wrapping Light Strike Pro, which is the race foam, which you'll see across the entire Adizero collection. So the last version of this shoe, the SL1, was very firm. It was a very firm ride. I liked it. I was one of the 17 people that liked it. I know my guy King Pickler, he also liked it. This is not a firm shoe though. Neither of these shoes out here are firm, the Rise or the SL2. They've softened it up a ton. It is very flexible, and the underfoot, the predominant note, the tasting note or the running ride experience note out of the box was soft, bouncy, and so bouncy this thing was, it was an explosion. It was like running on top of fireworks. It was an explosive feeling shoe. I took it for a workout last week, and today I'm actually dropping the video on the 24-mile double run day I did in this guy, the Cloud Monster Hyper, $220 shoe. I did a similar workout in both of these shoes up at the Harrisburg Oval, and today the Cloud Monster Hyper did not feel nearly as explosive as the SL2. A great shoe in the Cloud Monster Hyper, more supportive, more protective, but the SL2 is just one of the bounciest shoes out there. It might be the bounciest daily trainer you can get right now, and especially for $140 or under. This is $130. Very, very bouncy. So I talk about trade-offs a lot, right? And thinking about a shoe like the Cloud Monster Hyper over there wasn't the best for ripping off fast pace, but was great for the end of a 24-mile double day. Conversely, the SL2 here, I did a 23-mile long run in it, and it was awesome. And it's awesome that a shoe that's priced at $90 right now can handle a 23-mile long run, but it's not the shoe that if you had all these shoes here, you would reach for again and again and again. It's a tool for the job, and it can do that job. So this is going to be a little bit less protective than a max cushion shoe, but still very protective for what it is and what you're getting. So it's lightweight. It still has that bounce. The upper feels streamlined. That's the thing with the Supernova Rise, and we'll do a little bit of an on-foot comparison at some point. Upper feels a little bit roomier to my memory in this guy, a little bit more forgiving. And again, just look at the tongue padding here. This did have the crown for most padded shoe that I had in my collection for a while. It was this, and then the Skechers Max Road 6 over there in the Gucci Mane Lemonade colorway, that took the crown. And then the horrible Oomph 22, that now has the crown for the most padded shoe. So this is the third most padded shoe out of the 50 plus shoes we have over here. So very padded. Step and feel is awesome of this, and overall feels like a comfort oriented shoe when you step in it, versus this guy, it just feels a little bit more streamlined. But I was impressed at the comfort. So main questions that I want to answer between these two shoes and why I'm going to go out and run in them versus just telling you now, well, this one is for comfort and this one is for speed. That is the general vibe of them. But what I want to answer is, can the SL2 do as good of a job as relaxed running as the Supernova Rise? Because so far it's been very versatile for me in the SL2, and I've been surprised at how it's been able to hang back and run at an 8:30 pace, which for me is my recovery pace. So I want to see, running in both of them, true recovery day tomorrow, not going to do a ton of faster pace. How do both of these do with those slower miles? And then with the Supernova Rise here, I want to see how it does with an hour-long run with some strides. So I know it's recovery day. I'm not going to do too much faster running, but I do want to throw some pace pickup in there because it did well for that 12-mile run that I had, and I was actually a little bit surprised how good it felt for going over 90 minutes. But if we throw some pace in there, so if you're marathon training, you might have strides on the calendar, right? These days where you got to pick up the pace a little bit for 20 to 30 seconds to remind the body what it feels like. So how is the Supernova Rise going to do for that? And what is the true overlap? So those are the questions, right? Can SL2 be as comfortable and relaxed as a Supernova Rise? And can the Supernova Rise sing and dance a little bit? Can we get a little jig? Can we get a little jig out of our pal here, the Supernova Rise? So we know that it's comfortable. We know that it's stable. We know that this guy is fast, but can it hang back? So I think I'm going to have to finish cleaning the kitchen. I don't know, but I will see you guys in the morning for the first run. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one we're going to run in first. Ooh, mystery. It's 8:43. I'm getting loopy. I'll see you guys in the AM. One more thing, guys. That hole over there is where the Saucony Ride 17 usually goes, because I walked in it this afternoon because I saw a lot of people walking in it recently. And I thought, maybe it wasn't as bad as I initially thought. No, it is as bad as I initially thought, maybe even worse. The Ride 17 might be going on the list with the Triumph, the 880, and the Pegasus in terms of most disappointing hot mess shoes of the year. So yeah, both of these shoes here, SL2, Supernova Rise, much better buys. They are both good shoes. Do not get the Saucony Ride 17, please. I'm begging you. If you want firm, get the Puma Velocity Nitro 3. All right, I could do this, get this, not that, all night long. I will see you in the A to the M. Yeah, see you then. All right, guys, happy AM. It is 5:25. This is a tough one. This is early. I wish I could sleep in, but you guys already know what our friend Boss Man Dilo says. If you want to be a boss, you gotta pay the price. This is the price. We are waking up early to get some miles in. So I was telling you, I'm not sure which one we're gonna go in first. I think I'm gonna do the SL2 first, because this is gonna be the true recovery run. They're both gonna be recovery runs, but I want to see how comfortable it is. I'm feeling a little sore. I'm feeling very tired. My legs are feeling a little bit smashed. My foot is feeling a little bit smashed from the 24 miles of running yesterday, plus everything else. So how does the SL2 handle the job of a true recovery run post 24-mile double day? So that's its brief this morning. I'm going to go brush my teeth, do all that fun stuff, and then you can lace these up, take them out for a run. All right, let's do this thing. No coffee, no breakfast. We're just going to roll straight into this one. Any weird bugs out here today? Let's see. Oh, just a gigantic slug right there. So as I mentioned, I did a 24-mile double yesterday, so 16 in the morning with some pace, and then 8 miles just cruising in the afternoon, and that was in the Cloud Monster Hyper, so a little bit more cushion than this guy, a little bit higher up, not as soft though. So that was my last reference point. This feels very soft as I'm stepping in here. I also felt that shoe wasn't as bouncy as this, so we'll see how it compares, but the Hyper has a little bit more of a roll to it. Same thing with the Supernova Rise from my memory, a little bit more of a roll, so we'll see how that comes through. But the key thing here is just how soft, bouncy, and forgiving this foam is. And it's wild because you wouldn't think a shoe with this much race foam feels this easy to run in, but that has been my experience so far. So we'll see if that comes through on this recovery run, because we are feeling it right now. Trying to get my miles in early this week because I'm going away later, so we'll see how it does. Alright, let's do this.
So I put a lot of miles on these last week, but I'm still surprised at how soft they feel. They are very soft and very forgiving. And I think giving them a 48-hour period to rest after the long run did them a lot of good, because they feel even softer with a little bit more rebound than I even remember. And that's the thing that I think is going to be the key difference between these and the Rise. The Rise might not have as much of that rebound as these. That Supernova Rise foam, the Dream Strike, I don't think it's as bouncy. We might not get as much of that quick release on the squish as we get in here. We're about 3 miles in here, and my thoughts so far on the comfort: very comfortable shoe, and even better now that I've given it a few days to rest. So the foam was resilient when I was smashing miles on it every day, but now that it's had a little bit of a reprieve, it's even better. So that was mile 3 right there. So if you're looking for a true recovery running shoe, I'm not sure if this is going to be the one. It's not 1080 level in terms of comfort, but for someone who's running a few times a week and wants one fun shoe to do everything, this could be it. And especially if you have a workout shoe and then a daily trainer, I do think this could fill that role. And on this recovery here, a recovery run here, it's remaining pretty peppy, and the lightweight does it a lot of good. I'm going to revise my statements a little bit. There is a lot of ground feel on this shoe, or a lot compared. Let's think about reference points. There's a lot of ground feel in this shoe compared to a max cushion shoe, like what I was running in yesterday, Cloud Monster Hyper. And that doesn't even have the most gigantic crazy stack. That has about 37 or 38 in the heel. So compared to something like that, compared to something like the 1080, it's not going to feel as protective. We'll see how the Supernova Rise does. But especially coming off running 24 miles in the Hyper yesterday, I can feel the ground a little bit more. And on this recovery run, I'm not sure if I quite want that. So I don't know, it's going to depend on your preference, I think, and your shoe budget, how many shoes you want to have, and whether you're even doing recovery runs. Because again, if you're running 2, 3, 4 times a week, you might not be doing recovery runs. You might be getting out there on fresh legs every time, just trying to pop some pace for 30 to 45 minutes. So use case is everything. How you're going to use this shoe is really going to determine which one of these is best for you. And at the end, I'll do a full breakdown of each type of runner, how they would use these shoes and which will be best for them based on that.
All right, guys. We are done with our first run of the day. Average, exactly 8:30 pace. 8 miles, 1 hour and 8 minutes. 8:8:8. In the Adidas Adizero SL2. Decently comfortable. Decently. Not super comfortable, not crazily comfortable. That is, again, a big slug. Man, I need to come out here, patch up all these grout lines. I think that's a little bit out of my purview, honestly, but we need to do something about these slugs. We're on slug watch. But yeah, for this type of run, comfort is the name of the game. I'm not looking for a ton of speed and bounce, but the speed or the bounce that this gives does make up a little bit for the fact that you're not getting as much cushion. And the amazing thing is I can run 8:30 pace without feeling like I need to go any faster. That is the true beauty of this shoe. It's the versatility. It's that I can put down an 8:30 pace for an hour and it feels great. And then last Tuesday, I was ripping at a 4 or something pace for 200 meter repeats, 400 meter repeats, 5 flat pace, and it felt great too. This is a true everyday running shoe. It's a true daily trainer. It might be the best daily trainer out right now. Supernova Rise, and every time I've compared this shoe to either the Boston 12, the Rebel V4, the Asics Nova Blast 4, the Mach 6, it's come out as the option that might work better for more people because it's more versatile. The only one where we came out in a dead tie was the Mach 6. I think both of those shoes are great. Mach 6 is a little bit more of that modern, super rockered rolling feel. This has more of that traditional, a little bit of a flatter platform. And now that I'm talking through this might even be better than the Mach 6 because of how versatile it is. So I think today we'll see when we come for that second run in the Supernova Rise, but I'm guessing, and I don't know how many miles I have on the Rise, but I have enough to have a really good sense of how it rides. I'm guessing it's going to come out to be a little bit of that same thing where Supernova Rise is a more specialized comfort shoe, and this is the speedier shoe, and man, or the more versatile shoe. And man, this run out here, yeah, SL2 is undefeated. I have not had a bad run in this shoe yet, and this run showed to me why. My foot here, I've had this little thing that's been bothering me. Maybe like once a week, it kind of flares up and hurts. This morning would have been the perfect time for me to get some sort of a weird foot pain after running 24 miles yesterday, and there's none of that in that. So it doesn't feel the most cushioned and most protective, but I've done those 20-mile double days. I've done that 23-mile long run, and it does a good job of keeping you protected. So we're going to double back later for the Supernova Rise. I did want to let you guys know I got this email yesterday. Crocs is running some sort of a promotion right now. 2 sandals for $50. I think the code is Crocs50. I'll put that in the link below as well. So if you're looking for that comfort, and Crocs and Viore, we got both of them on deck. I have to show you guys this tank close up. We are going straight with the comfy and cozy brands this summer. The Crocs slides, 2 for $50, and then we have the Viore. The hobby jogger code gets you 20% off. I'm thinking I'm going to try to get some more deals. Maybe I'll try to get some fuel deals and stuff too and just aggregate a bunch of them because I think that could be helpful. So let me know if you guys have any brands you want to see deals or partnerships, because when I partner with these brands, they always give me discounts. So if you have a running brand that I should partner with, maybe, Koros maybe? I don't know. People have been asking me for a running watch, so I can check. But let me know if there's any other brands you want to see link up on the channel. But with that, guys, I'm gonna see what sort of shenanigans we got going on. I can hear little footsteps already. It's 7:01. That means the house has been gone for probably 40 minutes now. So I'll see you guys later. Remarkably, it's actually quiet in here still. That is a beautiful thing, getting back to a quiet house. No, I can hear Reevesy coughing. I'll see you guys later. Oh, homemade waffles for breakfast. Bang. All right, guys, it is 12:42, right at high noon, as they say. I mean, look at that. You can see the grass is just screaming for some help, some reprieve from this heat. But we're going to get in our afternoon miles in the hottest part of the day, putting in that work out here in the Carolina summer. I don't usually do my double at noon, my second run of the day, but this is nap time for the kids, and it just worked out like that because today's a holiday. So before we do that, though, I did want to get one of these on foot, on each foot, go over a little bit of the fit and feel differences between these two, and then we can get our afternoon run in the Supernova Rise. So let's do that. Lace these bad boys up. Alright guys, so first, stepping into the Rise here, and just the view from above of both of these, so much more padding on the Rise. And let's see how the step-in feel is. Yeah, so I ran in the SL2 earlier, and right away, my foot feels a lot higher up. Let's just get, I'm not even gonna tie them. I'm just gonna slip my foot right in here and see. Yeah, right away, it feels a lot more built up in the Rise. Feels like we have a little bit of a wider platform. We haven't compared widths yet, so let's do that here in a second. Feels like we have a little bit of a wider platform in the Supernova Rise. And it also feels a little bit, the 10 millimeter drop feeling where your heel is a lot higher than the front. I'm getting more of that in the Supernova Rise. And it's funny because the SL2, it also has a taller drop. It's 9 or 10 millimeters, but it doesn't have as much of that slanted feeling. It feels a little bit flatter, and maybe that's the way the foam is broken in, or the softness, the way the foam compresses. But either way, yeah, more streamlined, more flexible. The heel, and you can just see it as I'm moving my foot around. You can see the heel foam really flex and fold in on itself in the back of the SL2 here. So that's one of the things with how flexible this platform is. Look at this. You're gonna get just a little bit less stability in the back. And there's nothing in the back of the SL2 here that's designed to be super stable versus Supernova Rise. We have that gray support piece, and it's set up in a way that's supposed to hold the foot in place. And the foam on the Supernova Rise, it wraps up a little bit farther up the sides. You're not getting as much of that wrap. The foam pretty much ends underneath my foot in the SL2 versus the Rise. It goes a little bit up higher and really cradles the back of my ankle. So let's take a look at this one. Yeah, no, I can't really flex it except at the front. The front is where you get some nice flexibility here now that it's broken in a bit, but if I try to flex the back, these gray support pieces are really holding the shoe in place. So stability is going to be significantly better in the Rise. And this isn't even their prescriptive stability shoe. So let's do a little walk test comparison. Please don't touch my ref. Please don't touch my ref. Told you guys, we come in cozy all summer. Cozy all summer. Man, so the SL2, it still feels softer. It feels like I'm getting more compression on the SL2 for walking here. The Rise does feel way more supportive though. So support goes to the Rise. Also style here from the top. Not even a question for me, especially in these colorways. The SL2 just looks so much better. The design's just a little bit cleaner. Supernova Rise, there's more going on. I'm not a huge fan of the gradient that they put on this. So style points go to the SL2. I would rather personally walk in the SL2 for the swag, but if we're talking comfort, I think for long hours on feet, Supernova Rise is the one we want. If we had to do one of these for Disney World and our picking solely based on comfort, gonna be on my feet for 10 hours, I'd probably go for the Rise. Now, if I wanted something for also banging out a quick 6 miler each morning in the hotel on the treadmill, well, maybe SL2. So it gets tricky because both of these are comfortable shoes. I think it's really going to come down to preference. The SL2 here feels a little bit planted and a little bit lower, though, for this fit and feel test. And then in terms of the way the upper is fitting, the Rise is just a little bit roomier in general. But people said they went up a full size on the SL2. This is where my foot ends on the SL2, right here. So unless you have a super wide foot, I do not think you need to go up go up a size. I could probably go down half a size in the SL2 and be fine. I'm not advising that, but this is a 10.5, which is my normal size. Both of these are a 10.5, and they fit perfectly. So both, I would go true to size if I were you in these guys. But all right, let me just do a quick little jog test. I think we have to do a quick little jog test, and then we can get some miles in the Rise. This quick jog test on a beautiful June Carolina afternoon is brought to you by our friends at
Where is it? Can you see that? Couldn't see that. Look at that. Vuori. These are the Core 5-inch shorts. Thank you, Vuori, for sponsoring the channel right now. We are going for coziness all summer. I highly recommend the Core shorts, the lined 5-inchers. This is what I've been running in every afternoon. This is what I've been lounging in. You can't go wrong with these. Super versatile, just like the Adidas Adizero SL2. And they're comfortable. You can run fast in them, you can run slow in them. So with that quick jog test, shout out to Vuori. We got the Hobby Jogger 20% off code below, but Adidas Adizero SL2 versus the Adidas Supernova Rise. Let's hit it. Oh man, this is gonna be a hot one, but the SL2, man, this feels bouncier. It also doesn't feel like there's a huge difference in terms of the stack. If anything, I'm maybe getting a little bit more ground feel, a little bit lower feel in the SL2. I'm not sure. It definitely feels like there's a chunkier heel. And you can look at this and see that there's a chunkier heel. And it's not so much the stack height underneath the heel, but everything going on back here. So it seems this one was designed really a lot for aggressive heel strikers with how much built up structure we have out in the back. So a little bit bulkier, a little bit of a more, just a more built up feeling here. But on the forefoot, we get a nice landing. Still a decent amount of connection. So this is not the max stack shoe, but a little bit more of a comfort ride, and definitely more bounce though in the SL2. So I'm curious to see how this does, this Supernova Rise. On our run plan is 8 miles. We're gonna do another recovery run, get 16 on the day. I'm gonna lace up this other Rise and we can go out there and ride, baby. So one thing I'm a little bit concerned with that I'll check for is the breathability of the upper on the Supernova Rise, because we have so much padding and it is a little bit of a thicker material here than what we get on the SL2. SL2 is very lightweight, very breathable, and if you just take a look at the difference in these tongues here, look how thick the tongue is on the Supernova Rise versus the SL2. They have a little bit of padding, but it's more of like a summer duvet versus the winter comforter here. Just big goose down vibes in the Supernova Rise. I'm not trying to pull up with the Canada Goose in this type of heat, so we'll see how it does. Yeah, now the sun is out again. We're going from gray to sunny. Alright guys, 8 miles, I'll be back in a jiff. Oh man, I had a sandwich right before this. I'm cramping big time. This is a nice Jeep. This is gonna be a little bit of a rough and tough one, but we'll get through it. So we just finished mile 1, about the same pace as we were running earlier, 8:30. And these feel a lot less bouncy at this 8:30 pace, and a little bit less soft, which is ironic because they're the comfort ones. But as I pick up the pace a little bit, I do get a little bit of a softer feel and a bouncier feel. So what that tells me you ever just get mad at things you have no reason to be mad about? Like, why is that guy keeping his grass nice while I'm trying to record? What a jerk face. Bro, yeah, I'm just tired. But what that tells me about the shoes is that this foam is tuned a little bit more to withstand higher force or compression from bigger runners. So if you want a little bit of that more supportive feel, this is going to be the pick. I do get a lot more support, not as much bounce at my recovery pace, but overall it feels like a foam that withstands the poundage a little bit better. So I'm just gonna cruise. Maybe I'll see you in a bit. Maybe I'll see you at home. It's hot. I really just brought this thing in case of emergency, but I think we can keep it pretty brief. That's the thing with the video length. Man, people have a lot of thoughts about the video length. The videos will be as long as they need to be for me to tell the story that I need to tell on each day. And I love that wildflower garden. And for me to give the analysis that needs to be given on any given Wednesday. You feel me? Do you feel what I'm saying? See you in a bit. Through here. And this is a nice shoe for just bopping along at a slow pace. Not the most cushion in the forefoot compared to true max stack shoes. And it rewards more of a rear landing on the back, but for some relaxed miles, this is a good shoe. You think they're coming for us? Oh my gosh! FedEx! It's FedEx! Hi! I'm gonna toss in a few quick strides, just four surges, 10 to 20 seconds each. I'm not gonna do the full 6 because it's hot and I'm tired and I'm making excuses. It's a Fire Impala though. Pull up on those spokes. Bang. All right. Oh, and they have a nice Japanese maple. All right. First one here. We'll pace pick up. Let's do it. All right, nice 5:46 pace on that. Quick, light, and the shoes have a good bit of pep. Not bad for some strides. I want to finish out the rest of these, and I'll see you at home.
All right, it is certifiably hot, but we finished 8 miles. I am absolutely dripping sweat. 7:56 pace, a little faster than earlier today. 1 hour, 3 minutes, 44 seconds. Let's just bang down there and do this breakdown, man. Man, hold on. As we're untying these shoes here, I was having a thought. Adidas, even though they're an established brand, it seems they're in a little bit of a weird phase of business right now, or phase of development with their running line, because that Adizero franchise is cemented, but in the US at least, they're still trying to find their post-Boost go-to shoe replacement. And I think both of these shoes are trying to replicate what Adidas did with that Boost series. But they've split it off into 2 directions. So a little bit of that density, that comfort that people liked in the Boost shoes, that's in the Rise. And then that bounce, that was the amazing part about the Boost. The bounce, that's in the SL2. So 2 different directions. Then, of course, they have the Ultra Boost Light, which would be more of the casual wear shoe. But 2 good shoes here, man. Sometimes we do these comparisons and there's a clear winner. These are both good shoes. The SL2 is a great shoe. The Supernova Rise is a good shoe. I'm hoping the Prima is a great shoe, because maybe the one downfall of this shoe here compared to other shoes on the market that you could buy is, for a comfort-oriented shoe, I would like a little bit more stack in the front. But if you're looking for something a little bit more versatile than a true max stack cushion cruiser, then Rise is a good choice. But let's pop down to the street to this breakdown.
All right guys, so 16 miles total today. We did 8 this morning in the SL2 and then banged another 8 this afternoon in the Supernova Rise. Now, these are both good shoes bordering on greatness here. I think this is tipped the scales into greatness or tipped over into greatness. The Supernova Rise is a good shoe that I think can be elevated into greatness either in the V2 or in the Supernova Prima, but there's a lot of good elements here that come together really nicely. So both of these are good choices, and it's really going to come down to what your ride preference is, because with the SL2 here, oh gosh, we have one of these sun dance days where I'm gonna have to adjust the lighting every time the sun goes behind a cloud. But SL2 here leans a little bit faster and bouncier, but it can hang back at relaxed pace, and it's ironic because I was actually faster on my second run in the Rise here, but that's just because I was warmed up into the day and I went straight into the run this morning 10 minutes after waking up, literally. Just no coffee, no food, and I don't even think I drank water before that run. We just got 8 miles in the SL2 right away. That's crazy, guys. I turned the camera on and talked to you before I drank water. That's how committed I am to the game. So yeah, this can do everything you ask it. It's just gonna be preference. Do you want something a little bit more cushioned, a little bit more comfortable, and a little bit more stable? That's gonna be the Supernova Rise. They are both decently comfortable shoes, but this one, decently comfortable shoes, but this one here, Supernova Rise, it feels a lot more natural at those relaxed paces. It feels like it wants me to land on the back of the platform, and with this big gray piece over here, it does a really nice job at going up hills, going down hills, anytime where you feel like you want a little bit more support. Oh, it's our friends at FedEx. That's literally the guy. Is he coming for, I don't think he's coming for us today. Is he coming for us? Oh yeah, he's going up. I can take that. Look at that. More inventory, more assets, more books for the library. So what we got here is SL2. This is the one I would pick if you want a bouncier ride, if you want a lighter weight, more streamlined experience. It feels a little bit natural going faster. This one feels a little bit natural going slower. If you need more stability, I would go for this guy. If you want a little bit more padded upper, I would go here. However, when we're thinking about comfort, one of the elements that this guy has is a really structured heel counter in the back. So if you don't get along with that too well, I would actually go for the SL2. It's more flexible and it's a little bit lighter weight. This one is gonna be a touch better for the summertime, though I have to say, I didn't have any issues this afternoon in the Supernova Rise in the heat here, running for an hour. I didn't feel like my foot was heating up too much. And when we were doing those strides, I didn't feel that the shoe couldn't pick up the pace. I did feel, that was a horrible double negative. I did feel, I'm sorry Miss Kerr, I'm sorry Miss Sendas, I'm sorry Miss Renard. Shout out Miss Renard from the Groton School for Boys and Girls. She probably drives something like a Prius if I had to guess too. But with this guy here, I didn't feel like it was, man, it's double negatives of heart. Let me tell you what I did feel. I did feel like it was a solid choice for dropping down to sub 6. I could totally do a few marathon pace miles here. I could do a progression run here. I could do anything that I really want to do. I wouldn't love this shoe for doing track work and for doing any type of workouts, but if you're looking for one shoe for everything, you could do this here. Now, if we're thinking about different types of runners, as I said, I promise to break down who each of these would be best for. Beginners, I would go, reason being, more comfortable, more cushion. It's gonna feel a little bit better for hanging back and for those relaxed miles. SL2, this guy, it could be a viable beginner shoe, but it's kind of crazily bouncy. If I were only doing a few runs per week and I wanted something simple, a little bit more support, and I weren't running super fast all the time, I would probably want the Supernova Rise because of that. So if you're a beginner who's not running fast, maybe some walking, I'd probably go Supernova Rise. Now, if you're a converted athlete who's just ripping off 30 minutes on the treadmill and you're only, ugh, I need some water. Yeah, if you're only doing that Orange Theory style running where you're getting your heart rate up to that orange zone super high, you want something for fast running, I would go SL2. For marathon training, if you want something to chew up a bunch of miles in comfort, I would go Supernova Rise. For a strictly recovery run shoe, Supernova Rise. Again, this is a more specialized tool. This is a little bit of a more versatile tool that leans faster and fun. So if you're a marathon training and you want something for fast daily miles, a workout shoe without a plate, that's the SL2 here. One of the best non-plated shoes and probably one of the best overall shoes this year that I've tried for faster running. I would probably take, no, I would 100% take the SL2 personally over the Saucony Endorphin Speed 4. I haven't been that blown away with the plated training shoes this year other than the Hoka Skyward X, and that's not really a workout shoe. So SL2, if you're a marathon runner or a faster runner, cross-country runner, track runner, you want a non-plated shoe for workouts that could also handle the warm-up and cool down and everything else pretty well, that's the SL2. If you're going for some swag and some drip, that's the SL2. If you're going for Disney World and all you care about is comfort, that's the Supernova Rise. So I think that was a good head-to-head. Last thing here is outsole and width. That's the last thing I wanted to show you because I didn't do it earlier. You can see the Supernova Rise is a little bit wider on the bottom and in the back, and then we have good outsole coverage on both of these guys. Neither it's a good old-fashioned pickup truck. I don't really have much juice to make a joke about it. It's just solid putting in the work type of truck. Both of these are good rubber. I actually haven't had a chance to test the SL2 in the rain yet, so I think that's the last type of run we got to do before the 100-mile review. And now we got the mom whipping through in the X5. Let's go. So yeah, that's all I have for you today, guys. Both of these are solid choices. I don't know why I'm still holding the outsoles up, but I think it's easier than showing my face because I'm super tired. But bang! Look at that. Energetic, energized, and I caught it. If you have any more questions about these guys, let me know. If you have any more, it's like the most traffic we've ever had out here. If you have any more comparisons you want to see as the SL2 Revenge Tour is winding down, please let me know. I'm only going to do a few more runs in this before we get out that 100-mile review. Of course, we'll still have it in the library so I can pull it out and read a few pages from it here and there throughout the year. Of course, we're going to compare it to, I said compare it because I was going to say compare it to shoes like the Balos. So let me know what you want to see me compare this to. Can barely talk, I got to get some water. But yeah, guys, this was a fun one. Adidas, they're a hot brand right now. They're on the rise. No pun intended. My sign-offs are getting worse each day, but I think it's getting a good type of worse. I'll see you tomorrow. One more thing. If anybody can correctly guess what is in this box, I will send you a hobby jogger hat, and I'll give you one hint. It is a shoe that as of this, I need to just turn this camera off. It is a shoe that as of the time of now, filming, there are no other reviews on YouTube, and it's not under embargo. Those are my hints. If anybody can successfully guess it, I'll send you a hobby jogger hat. I have to say, by the way, US shipping only to be eligible for the hobby jogger hat. I'm sorry. But yeah, let me know. Let me know what you think. Oh, I think I might need to censor that if you saw the box color. Maybe I'll leave it in. Maybe some of you smart folks can guess it.